Here we go. The Dallas Cowboys travel to Atlanta. The Cowboys, huge win last week. Darren,
Yeah.
you think they can keep it going?
And I thought it was a huge confidence builder for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think they get this win in Atlanta. And it's about two guys defensively. Leighton Vander Esch, the young rookie,
Yes.
and Jalen Smith, the other linebacker, who's having a Pro Bowl season. I think the Cowboys defense will show up. They'll give up some points. But then on the backside, Ezekiel Elliott will have a big game. He'll have at least 20 carries.
You know, it's amazing how from week to week you can look at a team differently.
Yeah.
And I see the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Cowboys too because I just think they finally figured it out maybe that they need to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. They'll continue to do that. You got this nice little shiny toy in Amari Cooper, but still they're understanding where their bread is buttered.
Yeah.
I love those two linebackers too. We're both on the Cowboys. All right, Darren, Carolina's traveling to Detroit. Carolina's got to bounce back from that Thursday night loss to the Steelers about 10 days ago. What do you think?
An embarrassing Thursday night loss. And I think they get back, or they ate a little bit of humble pie. They get back to winning this week. And it's about Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, that physical offensive line getting back on track. I think they dominate this game up front, and they find a way to win in the fourth.
I like the mental toughness of this team. I like the way they're built on the offensive line and the defensive line. Ron Rivera, he's the type of coach that, I remember right after the game when they played the Steelers, he said, this happens.
Yeah.
This happens. You
These
get
happen.
your butt kicked sometimes. It matters what you do afterward. That type of mentality will push them. I'm also going to take the Carolina Panthers. We both like the Panthers to win. Big AFC South matchup. The Tennessee Titans coming off their huge win versus New England, going to Indianapolis to play Andrew Luck and sort of a hot Colt team.
Yeah, they've been hot with Marcus Mariota as far as throwing the ball down the field. You know, it's surprising how well he's played the last couple of games. And Corey Davis, you know, we talked about the expectations over him for the last couple of years, knowing he was a high draft pick. We're starting to see that stardom, him winning one-on-one competitions with the defensive backs and going up and physically getting the ball. I like the Tennessee Titans winning this game.
I like the Titans, too. My old teammate Mike Vrabel is coaching them really well. Defensive coordinator Dean Pease. You can see a plan that they formulated, especially against the Patriots, getting after Brady up in the middle of the pocket. The one thing I think they'll focus on, stopping Eric Ebron, tied into the Colts. He's been hot for them lately. I think they get that done. We both think the Titans are going to beat the Colts. Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to New York to play the Giants. Have the New York Giants flip the switch. Odell Beckham Jr. says, we got to win 8 straight. You think they can do that?
No, that's not happening. I think they get this win against Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay is bleeding on the back end of the defense, giving up big plays, and they can't cover OBJ, nor can they deal with Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley has probably the best game of the season in New York this week. I like the Giants to win this one.
I like it when you talk about Saquon.
Yeah, I know you do.
You know he's my guy.
Yeah, that's the only part I'm going to give you.
I'm going to take Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants also. Eli Manning, this is a perfect situation for him to string together 2 good games. The offensive line should play well because Tampa Bay struggled getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. So, you know, let's go. New York Giants, they start a little bit of a winning streak. We don't know how long it's going to last, but we both think the G-Men are going to win. All right, the Houston Texans play the Washington Redskins. Interesting matchup here. So let me hear what you got.
I'm going with the Houston Texans. I just think there's so many issues on the offensive line of the Washington Redskins. And then you bring in J.J. Watt and that crew coming in as far as the pressure that they're going to provide. I don't see the matchup. I think it's a bad matchup for the Washington Redskins, specifically because the Houston Texans defense is playing at a high level right now.
I agree with you. You actually convinced me right there. I'm going to take the Texans also because Alex Smith, the type of quarterback that he loves that time to make good decisions. I don't think he's going to have that time. He's going to be forced to throw it faster. He's going to be forced to take chances. That's not the type of quarterback he is. D-line too strong. I'm going with the Texans too. All right, we got the Steelers going to Jacksonville in sort of a new age rivalry, if you will, because they've met each other in the last couple of years. Words have been said, you know, Jalen Ramsey, Antonio Brown, those type of matchups. Who you liking in this one?
Well, for the Jags, it's not been about consistency. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've really righted the ship. And you know what? You have to give Mike Tomlin and that coaching staff a lot of credit for it. This thing could have easily gone off the rails early in the season. They get it back on the rails without Le'Veon Bell, and now they're clicking on all cylinders. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they travel and they win this game.
You know, I like the Steelers, too. I think they're liberated. I think they're sort of refreshed that the Le'Veon Bell thing's over. They're proud of their head coach for the way that he's handled it. He's proud of them for handling the drama that was Le'Veon Bell, although they could have done the whole locker thing and cleaned it out a little bit. Maybe not on film.
Yeah, exactly.
But have a little fun with it, move on from a running back that's left you hanging this year. I say the Steelers have turned the corner and they'll win the football game too. So we both take the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, the Cincinnati Bengals travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens. A lot of questions here. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback come game time for the Baltimore Ravens, but we still got to pick it. Who you got?
I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens, even though they're going through this situation. They're not sure who's going to be the starting quarterback. But for me, it's about the Cincinnati Bengals secondary and their linebacking core not making tackles on both of those levels. They struggled with that. And I'm looking at Alex Collins and the Baltimore Ravens saying, look, forget about the quarterback issue. We're going to run it right down your throat. I like Baltimore and their physicality in this game.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm going to think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to bounce back from that drubbing they experienced from the New Orleans Saints.
That was a drubbing.
It was a
you
drubbing.
Sure you want to do that?
It was. There is uncertainty at the quarterback position. I mean, who is going to play? Is it going to be Lamar? Flacco's got the hip issue. I mean, if Robert Griffin the third play, I just don't know who's going to be leading that offense. Who's your guy then? Jesse Bates?
Jesse Bates.
Nice young defensive back for the Bengals. He's going to make a play in the fourth quarter to win this game.
Don't use my guy against me now.
I am. I'm going to use him. He likes the Ravens. I take the Bengals. We'll see who wins. All right, can the Oakland Raiders conjure up some type of pride on the football field, get a win against the Arizona Cardinals? Who you taking to win this game?
You know, the difference in these two teams is that the Cardinals haven't played all that well most of the season, but they play hard. And they played hard again last week against Kansas City. They came in, defense flew around, offense made some plays down the field. I just think the Arizona Cardinals are a team that's playing actually to try to win the football games. The Oakland Raiders have really mailed it in. It's about U-Haul trucks and how fast the season can get over with.
You know, Darren, I agree with you because you and I as analysts and a lot of people, sometimes you can look at statistics and you can look at quarterback play, but sometimes when you just see like effort, we can recognize it easily on who still wants to show that they can be a good football player, a good football team. I'm starting to see less and less of that in Oakland. That's what I'm trying to say. Him and I both are going to take a more inspired Arizona Cardinal team. The Chargers are still making that claim as one of the best teams in the league. Denver's coming to town. Who you got in this one, Darren?
I like that high-octane offense in the Los Angeles Chargers. I think one thing about them is, you know, Phillip Rivers is going to do damage somehow, some way. Big plays, underneath routes. He's finding his targets and doing the right thing. And then Melvin Gordon. I mean, you're talking about a 1-2 punch. These guys have made it spectacular to watch this season. You look at the Rams, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, the Chargers are right there behind them as far as big-time plays.
How about the Chargers thinking, hey, what about us?
Yeah.
What about us? All you guys want to talk about this Monday night game with the Rams and the Chiefs and all of these other teams in the AFC. We're a good team also. And who practiced this week? Joey Bosa came back this week. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know how dangerous he's going to be in the future, but Melvin Ingram's been holding his own. He got a sack and a forced fumble. Last week, this Charger team flying under the radar, doing great things. Both Darren and I are going to take the Chargers to win. 4:25 starting the boot. The Eagles travel to the Saints at the Mercedes Superdome. Who you got in this one, Darren?
I'm going with them boys from the boot. I'm going with the Saints. Look, we talk about high-octane offenses. This is one. And they're a nightmare as far as trying to stop them. Who's the guy this week that Drew Brees is going to isolate and be the number one target? Was it Michael Thomas? Is it Kamara? Is it Ingram? So many weapons on that side of the ball. And Sean Payton has done a great job of divvying it up every week.
I always look at the defending Super Bowl champion and how they do the next year. And like the Eagles have had those type of struggles that I anticipated. Injuries, bouncing back, adversity, those type of things. They went and got Golden Tate to try to solve a lot of their problems on offense. I think it's possible for them to do that, but not in this one.
That's right.
Not in that dome.
Nope.
Not in when you're going to have about 30 points scored up against you, and also that crowd noise and Cam Jordan's coming for that passer.
That's
so
right.
I think we're both on the same page here in terms of we think the New Orleans Saints will beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go, Sunday Night Football. The matchup is the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Soldier Field. Vikings are dropping in.
Yeah.
Let's see who wins this one. What do you think?
Defense. If it's a toss-up for me, I'm going to say the Minnesota Vikings, and I think the two guys that are going to be the difference maker in the fourth quarter are Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. One of those two are going to go off at some point. and I think both defenses are going to play lights out, but on the offensive side of the ball, those two will be the difference maker.
Yeah, and I think this is a game, too, that late in the second half, the quarterback play is going to be evident. Yeah. And Trubisky is going to have to do more than just use his legs and run around. Mm-hmm. Cousins is going to find Thielen. Cousins is going to find Diggs. I just think they're more capable offensively in Minnesota and more experienced in these type of situations. I'm with you on this one, Darren. We're both taking the Vikings. This is how you finish the week. Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs in Los Angeles going to play the Rams. Everybody's waiting for this track meet. Who you got?
I can't wait. You just said it. It's going to be a track meet. I think they're going to score at least 80 points together total of both sides of the ball. I'm going with the Rams in this game. They're playing at home. They're going to be inspired about this week to play this game because they know it's going to be prime time, and they're going to be the only show in town. These two teams going at each other. Jared Goff has a big game. Gurley is going to be the key. He's the guy they're going to have to try to stop, but I think he has a huge game for them to win.
This is exactly what the league wants. Two high-powered offenses, prime time. I'm thinking like a 42-38 type of game. Chiefs have the ball at the end, driving down to win it, but the Rams have the best defensive finisher in football in Aaron Donald. He'll make a play, tip, pass, sack, or something. He will take that ball away and make the play to win the game. We are both of us
on the Rams.
On the Rams.
All right.